Cups up, toast to the Morning Word crowd. God bless y'all and God bless America. Steve Poor from Winfield, Alabama. You usually watch the replay, but you're in here on time. Everybody, welcome Stephen Poor. Stephen, you may be the people that Jim Pennington talks about. Now, I know you don't know Jim Pennington, but he's on here, and he has a place down at the Gulf, and he says that he's always sitting on the dock of the bay wondering what the poor people are doing. Oh, Lord, I shouldn't have said that. Curl myself up. Mr. Poor, it's just a joke. I'm not picking on you. I'm just picking on Jim Pennington. All right. First say. Gosh, y'all forgive me. I'll get started here in a minute. Golly. Oh, me. Help me, Lord. Give me back to what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, Lord, help me. 1 Samuel chapter 1. Oh, all right, here we go. Verse 1. That's ugly. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim. I know I'm mispronouncing these words, but it'll work. Of the mountains of Ephraim. And his name was Elkanah, the son of Jehoram, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephraimite. And he had 2 wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. This man went up from his city yearly to worship and sacrifice to the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. That's the place where the tabernacle of worship was, had been set up at the time. Also, the 2 sons of Eli. Now, Eli is the high priest, and he has 2 sons, Hophni and Phinehas. The priests of the Lord were there. And whenever the time came for Elkanah to make an offering, he would give portions to Peninnah, his wife, and to all her sons and daughters. But to Hannah he would give a double portion, for he loved Hannah, although the Lord had closed her womb. And her rival also provoked her severely to make her miserable, because the Lord had closed her womb. So it was, year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, that she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. It goes on to say that Elkanah asked Hannah, why did she weep? And why was her heart grieved? And so he said, are not better to you than 10 sons? So Elkanah knew that she was depressed and saddened by the fact that she had not had children. So she goes, and of course she prays, and she receives an answer to her prayer, Samuel. But this morning, I wanted to take this situation that Hannah finds herself in, and us kind of glean some understanding from it. Today's morning word is problems, patience, and prayer. Problems, patience, and prayer. Hannah loves the Lord. All right, Hannah loves the Lord. We know that. Elkanah loves the Lord. Peninnah, we don't know too much about her with regards to her relationship with the Lord, but she and Hannah are married to the same man. Now, I don't get that. I don't get polygamy. I don't see how that works out. It certainly didn't here. And the 2 wives of Elkanah were not happy. I think Peninnah, that's the one with all the children, she is jealous. She's jealous of Hannah because I think that it's obvious in Elkanah's dealings with them that he loves, it says it here, he loved Hannah and gave her a double portion. What that meant was when they got ready to go up to Shiloh to worship, they had to take gifts to worship with. They had to take oxen or lambs or sheep or food or whatever to make a sacrifice to worship the Lord. And so he would give Peninnah her share and her kids some, but he would give a double portion to Hannah. Now Peninnah, she gets it, right? She says, my husband loves her more than me. But she had borne Elkanah many children and Hannah hadn't. So now not only is Peninnah jealous, but she's made it her life's ambition to taunt and ridicule and put down Hannah in her barrenness because she doesn't have any children. Hannah, on the other hand, loves Elkanah and wants to bear him children. She wants to have children for herself, and she is living in the house with another woman that's sleeping with her husband and bearing children, and she's not. So she feels inferior in her womanhood. She may be a little impatient with the Lord because the Lord is obviously working in this situation as we read about it. We get the understanding because we can see it behind us, but they were living in it real time. And Hannah could not see the hand of the Lord working in her life. And this just goes to reveal to us, as she went down to pray, and she was, the scriptures tells us that she was silently praying, but she was moving her lips. And that Eli, the priest, thought she was drunk. So he accuses her of being drunk. And she says, no, my Lord, I'm not drunk. I'm pouring out my heart to the Lord. And she tells him the situation. And so we need to remember, okay? We need to remember that everyone has problems. Everyone's got problems going on. It does not matter what they look like from the outside. Inside their homes, inside their marriages, inside their relationships, with their kids or their parents or their siblings or in the workplace, everyone has problems. Some larger than others, some more numerous than others. But everyone has problems, and we need, including myself, we need to just automatically bring that into or keep that in our memory when we're dealing with people and we want to be impatient or we become judgmental, asking ourselves and talking to other people about them. Y'all know that it's called gossiping, but in Christian circles it's called I have a prayer concern, right? That we're always saying, well, you know what, if she would just, and why don't she, and he didn't, and, you know, he ought to, and, well, I'll tell you what the problem is. No, you don't really know what the problem is necessarily. We don't know. The old saying, your parents probably said it to you, you don't know what a man is going through until you walk a mile in his shoes, right? Well, we haven't walked a mile in each other's shoes. And only those people that are like Hannah, who are barren, can understand that. Only those people like Peninnah can understand that her husband doesn't really love her, that he's probably emotionally connected to someone else. Only someone like Peninnah's children, you know, are living in a situation where their mother is sharing her husband with another woman, so forth and so on. It's just a convoluted, mixed up world we live in. We can look at this right here and say, you know, even in this time, it was just a jacked up world. As we give some more background on this, the end of the judges is coming, and Israel's been governed by judges, and the book of 1 Samuel is the transition of Israel abiding under God in a theocracy and moving to a monarchy where God rules the people with kings. So it's moving from judges to kings and prophets. So it was a jacked up world, and we live in a jacked up world now. Just over and over and over again, we see, okay, listen, we see, I give you a great example. We see almost every day or every other day, some teacher in some school, all right, is sexually abusing or having improper relationships with students. Now, I don't know if that was going on in my day. I'm sure it was. I just didn't have any of those teachers that I knew of. But we see that. Now, here's what you need to understand. This is not a hard and fast rule, but it is a general underlying condition, generally speaking. Almost, not always, but almost all the time when you see an abuser, you're looking at the abused. Not writing it off, not condoning it, not trying to lighten up the charge. You're just looking at people that have been sexually abused, and they turn around and abuse others. It's just a cycle of perversion. But my point is that inside the walls and inside of the home, inside the walls of the school, inside the walls of the workplace, there's problems. People are dealing with a lot of stuff. All right, they're just dealing with a lot of stuff, and we need to learn to be patient as people that are going through the problems, and as people that are dealing with people that are going through problems. We need to be patient with one another, all right? Because everybody's going through something, and in the middle of it, we need patience. Paul told the Colossians that he prayed that God would strengthen them by his glorious power for all patience and long suffering with joy. It takes great faith and a work of the Holy Spirit to help us to be patient in our problems, and to be patient with people who have problems, which is everyone. We need patience. And Hannah had it. She's sharing her husband, right? That ain't good. She's childless. That's not good. And she's being taunted by the other woman that's married to her husband. That's not good. But we see nothing negative on Hannah's side of the equation. Hannah is not embittered and ugly. She's not vindictive. She doesn't pay back. She holds her peace. She prays. The most powerful way that we can be patient in the midst of the problems of life, and the best way to be patient with people who are having problems in life, is prayer. Hannah, I'm sure, prayed many times, but one of her prayers is highlighted here, and she wanted a child so bad that she made a covenant with the Lord. She said, I will give him back to you. I will dedicate him to you for the rest of his life, if you will bless me. So she only raised him up till he was weaned. All right, she only raised him up till he was weaned, which at that time was probably about 3 years old. And then she took him to the temple and dedicated him to the Lord, handed him to Eli to raise up in the temple. And every year when her and her husband and his wife and his other wife came to worship, she would bring Samuel a coat, a handmade coat, and give it to him, a coat like Eli wore, because he's being groomed by Eli and to be a prophet and a priest. And so she held up her end of the bargain, but she prayed, and it was through prayer that she just released her problems. She just, that's part of prayer, is not praying about your problems, but it's also leaving them with the Lord and trying not to pick them back up when you get back up, and just release the situation after we've prayed our petitions, after we've asked for all the things that we need or think we need God to do, all of our wish list, all of our needs list, and then we need to say, not our will, but your will be done. And we need to leave it laying there, and God will strengthen us. God will strengthen us and help us in that situation. So that's where we kind of want to leave it this morning. Everyone has problems. We need to be patient with our problems to know. Hannah did not know that God had a plan. She didn't know that God had a plan. And in that plan, God has his own timing. That's part of what helps us get through our problematic world, is to know that God is sovereign and in control. He has a plan. He's not waking up today reading the Wall Street Journal trying to figure out what he's going to do. All right. He has a plan, and he's executing. He's moving in his own time and way. And did you know what? We'll leave this on a positive note. When it was all said and done, Hannah had 6 children. Hannah had 6 kids. She just had to be patient and work on God's timing. And she just continued to pray and be patient, pray and be patient. And lo and behold, in God's timing, in the fullness of time, God gave her a son, and then God gave her 5 more. We have no idea what God is doing. We have no idea what God might do. Therefore, we need to pray, 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 and be patient, because yes, I have problems, and yes, you have problems. We need to be patient in our problems, and we need to be patient with people in their problems. God is at work. Don't stop praying. We'll see you tomorrow, good Lord willing, and the saints don't rise. Peace out.